We all want AI to get smarter. But what if the real secret isn't just about thinking harder, but thinking more like us? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating new idea that teaches AI to focus its brain power only where it's needed most. Have you ever listened to someone literally talk themselves into a corner and get completely lost? Well, it turns out the most powerful AIs out there do the exact same thing. This right here is a direct quote from a top-tier AI model getting tangled up in its own logic, and yeah, it ended up getting the answer wrong. So that just begs the question, right? Why are these incredibly advanced AIs overthinking things to the point where they actually fail? It's a huge problem in AI development, and today we're going to unpack the very clever solution. Okay, so first, let's really define what the problem is. It's not that these AIs can't think. It's that sometimes they just can't stop. The AIs we're talking about here are called large reasoning models, or LRMs for short, and their whole superpower is creating these really long, detailed chains of thought to work through tough problems. But that very strength, that ability to think everything through step by step, can turn into a huge weakness when they apply it to, well, everything. And the cost of all this overthinking is pretty steep. It makes the AI slow. You know that frustrating lag you get with a chatbot? That's what this is. It's also super expensive to run. The answers start to feel really unnatural, full of all these weird self-checks. And worst of all, just like we saw with that first quote, all that extra thinking can actually cause it to make more mistakes. So researchers have known this is an issue for a while, and they've tried to fix it, but the first few solutions were, let's just say, a little clumsy. The first attempts were kind of like using a sledgehammer for surgery. One idea, this long to short compression, just tried to shorten everything uniformly, which risked cutting out really important steps. Another, hybrid reasoning, made the AI decide at the very beginning, is this entire problem easy or is it hard? Both of these miss the point, because most real problems are a mix of easy and hard parts. And all of that led researchers to a much, much smarter approach. One that's actually a lot more, well, human. See, the real goal isn't to just make the AI think less. It's to make it think strategically. I mean, think about how you work. You probably breeze through the easy parts of a task, but then you slow down and really focus when you hit a tricky part. The AI needed to learn how to do that too. And this is where this new framework, MixReasoning, comes in. Instead of having just one mode of thinking, it's like it gives the AI a gas pedal and a brake. It can dynamically shift gears using that deep, detailed thinking for the hard parts, and then switching to a fast, efficient cruise control for the easy stuff, all within the same problem. Okay, that sounds really cool in theory, but how does the AI actually know when a step is hard? How does it know when to hit the brakes? Well, this is where the magic really happens. The secret is the AI basically learns to listen to its own gut feeling. It monitors its own level of uncertainty, and when it starts to feel confused or unsure about what to do next, that's the trigger. That's the signal to slow down and think things through more carefully. So, here's how that loop actually works. The AI starts off in this fast cruising mode, being really concise, but all the while it's checking its own confidence. When that uncertainty suddenly spikes, bam, that's the signal. A tiny, super efficient module called a LoRa adapter, think of it like a little turbo booster for the AI's brain, kicks in and switches it into full deep thinking mode. Once it figures out the tricky part and its confidence goes back up, it flips right back to that fast, efficient mode. It's happening constantly, back and forth. So, the big question, does this dynamic gear-shifting approach actually work? Well, let's take a look at the results. They're pretty wild. The difference is just dramatic. On a standard set of math problems, the original AI used about 750 tokens. You can think of those as units of brain power. The MixReasoning AI, it used just over 400. That is a nearly 50% reduction. It's doing the same job with almost half the effort. But here's the part that is really going to blow your mind. You'd expect that if it's doing half the work, it's probably making more mistakes, right? Nope. It actually got smarter. By not getting stuck in those long, confusing thought loops, its accuracy actually went up by over 1%. Thinking less, but more strategically, made it better at its job. This word problem from the paper makes it crystal clear.
The original AI sees the phrase 150% increase and just goes into a tailspin, second-guessing itself until it gets the wrong answer. But mixed reasoning sees that exact same phrase and its uncertainty alarm goes off. It says, whoa, okay, this is the hard part. It switches into detail mode just for that one calculation, nails it, and then cruises right to the correct answer. It's so much smarter.
So let's zoom out. What are the bigger real-world implications of having an AI that can think this efficiently?
Honestly, this kind of research matters to all of us. It means faster chatbots that give you an answer right away. It means the massive cost to run these powerful models can come down, making them accessible to more people and more companies. And maybe most importantly, it leads to AI that feels more natural to talk to, one that communicates clearly and just gets to the point, like a real person would. What's so exciting here is that this isn't just about teaching an AI what to think, but how to think. It's a huge step towards a more efficient, almost human-like intelligence. And it leaves us with this really fascinating question to chew on. If AI can now learn how to think, what's the next human trait it's going to master?